Welcome to the Dawn Jarvis Show. My name's Dawn Jarvis, and this is the podcast where I talk to leaders, professionals, and business owners about who they are, what they do, and why they do it. Today, I am joined by Juan Carlos Gouveia, and we are going to be talking about smashing your mind's barriers to success and learning how you can change your life. Every thought you create creates a reaction in your body, good or bad, and working with your subconscious mind enables you to achieve results you may not have achieved before. Juan Carlos, we met in a mastermind. We've worked together, we've done courses together, and we've networked together. He's part of my diverse nurse network. He is a transformational therapist, clinical hypnotherapist, and stress management consultant at his company changeideserve.com. His 21-day bespoke combination therapy program helps people remove success barriers and negative behaviours and limiting beliefs by working directly with the subconscious mind and guiding you to the answers and unblocking your true potential. Juan Carlos, fantastic to see you. How are you? It's great to see you.
I'm very well, thank you, Dawn. Thank you for inviting me in this beautiful sunny day.
Oh, it's a great day. Hello. It's beautiful Friday morning in sunny London. We're both based in London, so that's really, really good. I'm really looking forward to this and having a chat and catching up with you. So we share a background in the health service. So how did you go from that to becoming a transformational therapist and clinical hypnotherapist?
Amazing story, Dawn. I found that working as a biomedical scientist, what I most enjoyed was working with people, coaching people, mentoring people, training people. So to bridge from one profession to another was an easy transition, because that was at my core, at my essence, to train, to motivate, to empower. And the transition was easy. And after being a biomedical scientist for 22 years, I felt that my calling was not fully fulfilled doing what I was doing. So I had to do something else. And here I am, retrained. About 4 or 5 years ago. The transition was gradual. It's not that from one to the other, it's a huge step. Its preparation makes the goal.
Definitely. And it's really interesting because I've done the same and sort of like had that gradual, I'm not going to work in the health service forever. What do I want to do? And I really agree with you. It's sort of like you utilize the skills that you have in your work, and you think about how you can like actually apply them in your business. And I think you would agree, Juan, that it's sort of like I'm now doing the best bits of the job that I did. And I've sort of like put that into a business, and it's still helping people, it's still coaching people,
Absolutely.
it's still mentoring people.
Yeah.
But how have you found that transition to sort of like full-time employment and being a full-time business owner? Because it is very different than working in the health service, isn't it?
It is different because working for the NHS is, I had a routine. You go there, the work is there. And working as on your business, you need to go out and marketing and find and get the clients. That's a huge step.
No, and in the health service, they come to us, don't they? So
Exactly,
yeah, we don't go find them; they come to us.
Yeah.
So
you don't need to go and find. They come in for the services. So, and I've contributed for more than 2 decades. That's enough.
Fair enough.
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, so 2 decades solidly. Enjoy my job. It's not that I left with resentments or anger. I left open, and I landed to something else.
And I find, oh, carry on.
I thank to the background that led me to here. Our history led us to where we are and propel us where we're going to go.
Absolutely.
We don't know what is out there. We just have to have that hope and positivity that it's going to be amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? I think it is amazing to be able to utilize your skills and to still help people, because we're still in a helping profession, isn't it? But I was just going back to what you were saying, in that we now have to market our business, we now have to network, we have to sort of like put ourselves out there. And I think, you know, somebody asked me this recently. It is the biggest difference, I think, to working for the health service, is that you have to market yourself and you have to market your services. But I think in the health service we had to do that, but we weren't really aware that that's what we were doing. So Juan Carlos, tell me about the sort of clients that you work with now, and how you help them and how you change their life.
I work with a different range of clients. Clients from CEOs, from politicians, from sportsmen, from different backgrounds. And the reason is we all have a nervous system. And we all have an essence within ourselves. Either we can call it spirit, an essence, their energy.
Yeah.
We can call that essence of us the soul. Different people give different names. That essence of us is destined for growth and expansion. But our nervous system likes comfort. There is a huge amount of energy that the soul needs to invest to move the body towards getting what we want, because of this duality. The soul wants to expand and grow because that's the soul, the essence of who we are. But at the core of our bodies, there is a nervous system that wants you to keep you in your comfort zone, moving you from pain to pleasure every time. And it does it in different ways. Addictions is one of the things to move you away from pain to pleasure. And can be any sort of addictions. This is not just substances addiction. This is not just alcohol and drugs. This is an addictions of different category. Addicted to work, addicted to achieve, addicted to I don't know, pornography, shopping, addicted to so many things. And at the core is to move you from one way to the other.
So is that what your clients come to you for, to literally change that thing that they may be addicted to, maybe a habit, maybe it's something they don't want to do, and what they want to move forward to a different way, either of coping with it or not doing it at all? Is that the kind of client that you have?
And it can happen in different things. For example, one client that couldn't focus on living his life fully because a friend of his has a yacht that has a foot longer than his.
Mhm.
So forgetting about the pleasure that he's enjoying traveling, seeing new countries, at the center of it, it's something that is diminishing that achievement. Your boat is bigger than mine.
Wow. Yes.
It can be simple things, but you don't know what the problems that causes to the person.
Yeah. So how do you help them, Juan?
I'm helping them by addressing the core of the issue, because the core of the issue is not the envy, it's not the jealousy, it's not the drinking alcohol, it's not the intake of drug. That is the behavior. And the need of the behavior, there is a need.
Yeah.
And when we address that need, the behavior goes. And the need is paramount. We're going to touch into the psychology needs, which are certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. Within these 6 psychological needs, and this is a step forward than Maslow hierarchy of needs, we're assuming that this person has a house. He or she may not feel happy in the house, but has a house.
Yeah.
And has food in the fridge.
Yeah.
And has shelter. This is a step beyond that, because if you don't have shelter, you haven't have food, you don't have the basics, the other psychology needs are out. They cannot coexist.
Yeah.
So my clients are from a point that all those bases are we've covered. So we'll focus on the psychology needs. Okay. So the need to be certain, we all crave the need to be certain, because certainty gives us stability. I know where I am. I know where I want to go, gives us certainty. But that certainty giving us the sameness. This is what I did. This is what I'm doing. This is what I will do. And that's it. And certainty is the scary part of it, because we're going to trigger the primitive brain, the primitive parts of our brain, and the amygdala is at that center. The amygdala is there to keep you safe, not to keep you happy. So we'll be focusing on threats all the time.
Yeah.
I need to have a conversation with this person, but I don't know that person. I'm scared. I don't do it, for example. Or I need to have a conversation with my husband or with my girlfriend, with my wife, but it's not going to be a good conversation. The fear gets triggered, and that's it. I may not do it. But the uncertainty, as we go along, uncertainty, our comfort zone expands.
Yeah.
And evolution steps outside of our fears, out of our comfort zones. And when we are there, we're not going back.
Fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. And then significance. Every single person feels the need to be significant, because we are. We are all significant. We are all here on the planet, on Earth, for a reason. The universe put us here for a reason. Some people are aware of that, some people don't. And one way of knocking that significance out of the window is the compare. Compare and despair is my motto.
Yeah.
We cannot compare each other with anybody, because we are unique. The universe does not allow duplication.
Yeah.
Not a single apple is the same as a single apple. Not human beings are the same. Not even twins.
Yeah.
They all have within their DNA, the space between their gene differs.
Yeah.
They have personalities different. The soul is different. They share most of the DNA, most of the genetic material, but they are different because the universe does not allow duplication. You are here for a reason, and that reason is to be amazing, to be of greatness. And this empowering people to tap into that significance, into that greatness, not from a narcissistic point of view that I'm better than you and you are better than me, but allowing that space of curiosity. If we were all curious about each other, the world would be so much better
Yeah.
because we have so much to teach and so much to share. When these psychology needs get out of the window, then I need to suppress you. I need to damage you. I need to do something to do something to cover something. It's all behind hurt. The expression hurt people, because they thinking by hurting them, they get in release, but they have to carry on doing that. It's not at the core of the problem. At the core of the problem is something else. What drives you to do that?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
we address that, you don't need to
That's true.
harm people and do all that things. And then love and connection. This is huge in therapy. This is a massive area in therapy. Love and connection. If you don't love, you'll not be able to connect. And starts by loving ourselves. We don't teach our children to love themselves. Well, now more, because there is a wave of enlightenment and the new parents are maybe tapping into that. But the child has an emotional brain, not a logical brain. The child that is told off, that is not being given the needs that that child requires, does not stop loving the parents, because the child is dependent on the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So from that moment on, the child learned to not love themselves. Because if I was a good girl, if I was a good boy, mommy would have give me that. I didn't get that. It's not because mommy doesn't have the money. Mommy just lost the job. Mommy just has depression or something like that. The child has not operate from the logic brain, operates from the emotional brain. And we all as children suffer from that. I didn't get the toy that I wanted because at the moment what was needed was to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
And you can have the toy in January or February when we have the money, but all my friends are having the toys. I'm not having the toy. I'm not good enough. And the lesson gets learned at nervous system. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody feels it. And then I go to school and says, what did you get for Christmas? Oh, I didn't get anything. And then everybody around says, I get a toy, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not able to rationalize it. The reason I haven't had the toy is because my parents are in financial struggle, and the mortgage is more important than a toy. A child doesn't have that level of understanding.
Yeah. But
So from there on,
they do as adults though, don't they? I suppose you help people to tap back into those feelings, don't you?
Yeah, and release them at the nervous system level, because he's trapped in there somewhere. It's trapped into IBS, it's tapped into high blood pressure, it's tapped into back pain, it's trapped in the head, it's trapped everywhere. A feeling that is not released in tears or expressed makes other organs to weep.
Oh.
And that's the subject for another talk, Dawn.
We could talk about that for ages.
Yes,
absolutely.
And having our NHS background, we know about it. So the next point is growth.
Yeah.
The need to grow. There is always potential to grow. We never tap into our potential because our needs are not met.
Yeah.
And when we meet our needs, we expand, we grow, we study, we achieve more. And then we are able to contribute, because growing and learning and achieving and not contributing is powerless. You see the amazing sportsmen that win titles and win millions of pounds. They are aware that that money is beyond their lifespan.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, they die and they leave that money behind. So what they do, they help schools, they help here, they help there. That is contribution.
Definitely.
And the universe backs you. When you have that mindset of growth to contribute, the universe has your back.
Love that.
Because it is how it is. We are here to serve.
Definitely.
And we don't get that at some points. We are all servants of each other. And if you are not serving, you're not contributing, you're not getting, you're not earning, because we are all servants of each other. The law of life is to serve, because through service, we express ourselves.
Love that. That's really, really good.
Yeah, so addressing our needs, it's paramount. And this is where my services help to address the needs. Within the needs, within behaviors, we all have needs that need to be addressed.
Definitely.
I have needs to be addressed.
Okay.
I have my own colleague that we exchange sessions.
Yeah.
I need help. I feel I need help in here to move forward, and so on.
Definitely. But you also say that sort of each action creates a reaction. So I'd love you to talk a little bit about that one.
This is when you have this concept, you will never be thinking the way we think. I tell when I present, I tell people to imagine that they can close their eyes if they want to cut out the noise and the distractions, to visualize a lovely juicy lemon.
Yeah.
And they imagine that you are inhaling that lemon and seeing the vivid textures, the beautiful smell and the yellow color of that lemon. And then go to the kitchen and slice that lemon in pieces and stick one in your mouth and chew it. Savor that juicy lemon juice in your mouth. If you participated in this experiment, your mouth is going to be salivating by now.
Yes, it is actually. But I'm also imagining a bitter lemon, I have to be honest.
Yeah. So where is the lemon, Dawn?
Yes.
A thought. The lemon is a thought.
Yes.
You haven't got the lemon in your hand and you haven't got a slice of lemon in your mouth. So this proves that every thought we think creates a physiological response in our bodies. The thought of a lemon in your mouth creates, we test the lemon, we know what the lemon feels,
Yes.
and made our salivary glands to produce saliva, but there is no lemon at all. And the same thing happens when we think positive or negative. We're going to make the body produce the chemicals, the hormones, happy hormones if the thought is amazing, and stress hormones if the thought is not as great, and what the body feels it. So when you know that, you have the responsibility now to change your thinking, because your body is going to respond accordingly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So if you think about a bitter lemon, that's going to affect sort of like how you respond to that. Even saying the word bitter sort of maybe have a different connotation than saying something like sweet or something like that, or sweet orange or something like that. So that's a different thought, isn't it? So I love that. And you work obviously with your hypnotherapy, you work with the subconscious mind, and you believe, and you know actually, that enables you to achieve results that you haven't achieved before. How have you helped people to achieve those results with using their subconscious? And we've talked a little bit about the lemon, haven't we?
So we go to in order to go to the assess the subconscious mind, we need to be in a state of relaxation. We can only play when we feel safe.
True.
Full stop. The person does not feel safe is not going to be able to play. Play as a metaphor. Play as connecting, dialoguing, participating. When we feel in danger, we need to escape. We need to run. We need to do something to get out of that danger. Imagined or real? The mind does not care. The primitive brain accepts it as what it is. In a way, our mind is our genie. It accepts every command. Invariably, we give ourselves bad, negative commands instead of allowing ourselves use that empowerment to move forward. Lots of people that say, I can't afford it. Oh, I don't know how to do this. You are commanding. You not afford, can't afford it, and you're not able to do this. Just by changing tiny bits in your language. I'm not able to afford this yet, but I'm going to make the steps in order to achieve it. I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm going to search online, or I'm going to ask someone to help me. Changes completely. But when we say, oh, I can't afford it, or I don't know how to do it, okay, so you are giving yourself permission to not continue, to not carry on. And your mind is going to accept it. And because we know that your nervous system wants to move you from pain, not affording, not knowing how to do it, to pleasure, I'll do something else. I'll binge on Netflix, or I binge on social media, or something like this. Yeah, this is examples. So what I do is I use hypnosis because it's very effective to allow a deep, profound state of relaxation where we get the conscious mind out of the way, because the conscious mind is there to protect the subconscious. But the subconscious mind is there to influence the conscious. So they work in symbiosis in here. the subconscious mind is 90% of our mind. The conscious mind is 10. So who is running the show here? The subconscious, always. Yeah. But the conscious mind wants to protect the subconscious. So in order to do that, we allow the subconscious to step aside for a moment, and let's bring the subconscious mind where all the answers are. I have a metaphor for the subconscious mind like the biggest library in the world. And every book, every word of every book in that library is all about you. You have your own massive library. I have my own. Everybody has their own. So we go into that library and take the books that are not serving you. The book that tells you that you are not good enough. The belief that saying that having this body shape is not good enough. Beliefs that have been created at a very young age because we didn't know how to intellectualize it logically. One of my friends that I was deeply sad to hear that as a child had to scrub his skin so vigorously because felt that wasn't as clean as his mates. And the reason for that is because he was a black boy. And his mates were all blue eyes, blondes, and different mm-hmm. colors. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that vigorous rubbing of the skin created a lifetime of skin problem.
Yeah.
And when the illumination of that hit him, it says, oh my God, I allowed my essence of who I am to be diminished. There is no way, there is no amount of rubbing that I'm going to make myself differently. Well, you can chemically and nowadays, but that is beyond the point. We just need to understand that we are in this planet for a reason. And it doesn't matter what color you are. What is important is your contribution.
Yeah.
And through that, it just gives me faith. This just gives me faith that every time a client can open up and relaxes and eases, is another human being that is breathing better in the planet.
Yeah.
Every single day is, and like this, I have so many stories.
You do. Oh. We've had some brilliant conversations as well. And, Juan has sort of like, taught me sort of like the power of positive thinking and framing your thoughts and sort of like, is that true? And sort of a different way to look at it, which is absolutely wonderful. So I ask all of my guests to sort of like recommend a book or something that's inspired them or they think will be helpful for the audience. What books have you chosen, Juan?
I like to read, and I read a lot. I like the feel of a book and my interaction with it.
Yes.
Most of the times I read online because it has to be quick. But I have three that I'd love to share with our audience.
Yeah.
And one of them is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Wow.
I've not heard of this one. Yeah. So usually I've heard of it, but Yeah, so tell us about that one.
How do you break the habit of being who you are?
I don't know.
Well, think about the things that you do that you don't like, that are habitual. See if you can break it. See if you can enlist help to allow you to break that habit and become who you want to be.
Yeah.
You cannot be the person you want to be doing the same things that you are doing at the moment. For example, a kid that wants to be an astronaut, wants to be a scientist, and doesn't like study, doesn't like chemistry, physics, mathematics. How are you going to achieve it? So you need to embrace that in order to get that. A footballer, if you don't practice playing football, you don't become better. So if your habit is just sitting down, wishing to become a sportsman and win medals and not putting in the work, that needs to change.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that. So this is the book that's going to help me do that, is it?
Break the habit of being yourself.
I love that.
In order to, it's by Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
He brings in quantum physics, but in a simple way. And the other one is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers.
That's
if it scares you, do it.
Do it.
Because that's what you need to do.
Yes.
It scares you to be online and doing a presentation. That's what you need to do, because that's what the universe is calling you to do. Step up. Do it. Feel the fear, but use that fear to empower.
Definitely.
Because anxiety and excitement are the same. It's just the way we breathe.
Definitely. Good book. Good book. I have heard of that one, and I have got that one. And it is a bit of a life philosophy, isn't it? Feel the fear and do it anyway, really.
And these are books that you read a bit and put it down and then go back. And it's books for life. Yes. And the other one is Stepping Out of Fear by Krishnananda. Again, it's all, you know that what is scaring you is not really scaring you. It's to keep you on that comfort zone, because we know that the body likes that. But when we have the awareness now that the body likes to move you from pain to pleasure, we now negotiate and think with our minds properly, because we know that what we think creates a reaction. Oh my God, doing a presentation is going to scare me. Okay, so I know it's going to scare me. If I say it's going to scare me, if I say I'm going to do this presentation because I'm going to share valuable information with so many people, and through that we're going to learn, and I'm contributing, and we're going to have a good time, like we are having a good time here.
Absolutely, we definitely are.
It changes.
It does.
And don't forget Dawn Jarvis' 10 steps to networking, because it's important to network. Through network, we collaborate, we contribute, we learn. I learn from Dawn, and Dawn learned from me, and we are all learners and all our teachers. Is this amazing connection and networking, and yes, fantastic. So go and get Dawn's book.
Oh, thank you so much for plugging it. And part of the reason I wrote the book was because I've met people like you in different situations, and there's always something around collaborating and what can you learn. I really believe that you learn something very different from everyone you meet, and I've learned lots from you. So I wrote the book called Nurture Your Network, 10 Steps to sort of create connections and contacts and community. And thank you for plugging it. And all the books that Juan Carlos has talked about will be in the show notes with links, so that you can enjoy them too, and enjoy books like we do. Now, I also ask all of my guests how they, because I think with business owners and you're a cool cat, Juan Carlos, but some business owners, and I'm one of them, they might struggle to look after their have their health, their own health and well-being, because they're busy helping others, and maybe struggle with their focus and their productivity and their positivity as well. So I asked two questions. How do you stay focused, positive and productive? And then how do you, as part of that, how do you manage your own health and well-being?
That took me a long time to master, but I got it.
Cool.
I start my day always with achievement.
Yeah.
I wake up, I have a glass of water, because I've been lying down for 8 hours. And again, the importance of good sleep. That's another talk, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do light sleep.
I wake up and I have a glass of water, hydrate the body. Then I allow that water to diffuse 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Then I do stretches, because I've been in a horizontal position now. I need to be in a vertical position. I need to gentle exercise, gentle stretches. And then I do a 20 to 30 minutes meditation. And then I'll have breakfast and then shower and make myself ready for the day. So I achieved 3 things already. And I do this everywhere I go. On holiday, if I stay with friends, actually, the amazing thing is I stay with friends, I'll ask them, at what time are we having breakfast?
Good call.
Because if the breakfast is 9 o'clock, I'll count backwards what times I need to do my thing. And my friends are embracing this now. I said, actually, we don't mind. Let's do it all together then. Because
I was thinking that.
We don't know how to do it as teachers. and here we are. So now I have friends that sometimes they skip the meditation, or they skip the stretches, but it's something that is incorporated in the life routines. And we need to make time for ourselves.
Definitely.
If you don't have time for yourself, you need to rethink your life.
Yeah.
This is maybe a question. Actually, I don't have 20 minutes, half an hour for myself. Either I'm misusing my time, not using my time effectively, or something else. So schedule on your schedule. I start work at 10 o'clock. Yeah. Why? Because before that, I'm fully booked.
Yeah.
And I'm fully booked for me.
That's amazing. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, if I don't schedule that, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
I know myself. So I schedule things on the planner. 5 o'clock, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to go for a walk in the park. Oxygenate the lungs. and schedule things. Once in a while, schedule yourself a massage or schedule yourself a coffee. We need to schedule a coffee, Dawn,
Yes, we
somewhere.
do, because we actually live near each other, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable. We just found that out today, and I've known you over a year, and we live in neighbouring towns, so which are about 3 miles
Yeah.
apart. So we do need to do that.
Schedule a
Definitely.
coffee and yes, as a me time.
Definitely.
And the more we do that, the more we are empowered to go along with our lives, because there are going to be moments that we're going to struggle.
Mhm.
There are going to be moments that are going to be difficult. But if we have these things in place, we have networking, we have self-care schedule,
Mhm.
makes things easier.
Definitely, definitely. Now, Juan Carlos and I had this conversation about 6 months ago, and I have to, I was so inspired by it that, and it was one of the reasons that I asked people the question, actually. So, so you inspired the question about actually, so how do you do that? I really love what you said about scheduling it, making time for it. And also what you said about what time's breakfast, because breakfast is a good call as well, isn't it, really? And it's so easy not to get your breakfast, but if you've got, say, if breakfast is at 9 or 8 or 7 or whenever it is, you can work back and sort of like and make that happen. And the other thing I really love is what you said about scheduling time for you, putting those things in there. And all good therapists say that you have to see sort of like, when you're rushing and when you're busy, particularly as a business owner or as a leader, whatever you're doing, it's really easy not to
Yeah.
think about yourself. So love that. And I think that that could be a podcast in itself, what you just said, about that,
Self-care.
and not just about the part of the whole thing. And you've given
Yeah.
me lots of ideas there. So if people want to work with you on Carlos, have you got something that so they can get in contact to hear a bit more about you?
Yes, they can go to changeideserve.com and schedule a discovery call.
Mhm.
It's a free discovery call, no obligation.
Mhm.
We discuss how my services benefit the person. And at the end of the conversation, the person makes the decision if we are fit to work with each other or not.
Yeah, and
But
I'd really recommend that. I really recommend a conversation with Juan Carlos. He's got a
yeah,
lot to say, and definitely resonates with me. And I think sort of you've had a bit of a flavour of the way he works and the way his philosophy and stuff like that. So I'd recommend and sort of like accessing a link to that will be in the show notes. But you're on social media. How can people connect with you there, Juan
people can
Carlos?
connect with me via LinkedIn,
Mhm.
Instagram, and Facebook, Twitter, and every day there is something there, something positive, something to think.
Fantastic.
My posts are to serve and to allow that inner conversation in a different way that moves us a little bit forward, because, as we said earlier, our essence is to evolve.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
our nervous system is to keep us where we are, because comfort zones are comfort for a reason. But the comfort zone sometimes is not as comforts as we may think.
Yeah. And the comfort zone stops you growing, doesn't it, really? Because it's a bit too easy, isn't it? And going back to feel the fear and do it anyway. It's okay to be comfortable, but sometimes to push yourself through that comfort zone. There's so much potential in
Mhm.
actually doing that, or even just testing it a little bit and seeing how it feels. I think I recognize that people might be scared And that's fine if they're happy, I guess. But I think if someone came to see you, also me, it's because they're not particularly happy with the status quo. And I think what you do is like explore ways that you can sort of like test that. You know, what would it feel like to do something different? And maybe that something different can make you a bit
Yeah,
happier. That's brilliant.
exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Juan Carlos, this has been fantastic as always. It's always a
Wonderful.
pleasure to talk to you. I was sitting here
Likewise.
listening to you, thinking this is just like a conversation that we could just have anyway, and we will do over coffee. So, just is there sort of one tip? You've given us loads of nuggets during this conversation, but is there one sort of like thing that you'd like to share with the audience before we close?
Think about your mind as a genie. Is already there to serve you. Give your genie, give your mind positive commands. Introduce the I am affirmations. I am amazing. I am strong. I am healthy. Even if you don't believe it, just say it anyway. Because you are saying the opposite. You say that you're not good enough. You say that you are rubbish, blah, 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 easily. So challenged. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm beautiful. I'm healthy. I'm a good friend. I'm a good person. Challenged. Start, maybe something that we need to start doing on a regular basis is I am affirmations,
Yeah.
because they are mental commands to our mind. Make those mental commands positive, powerful, and in the present time. I
Fantastic.
am strong. I am healthy.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for being my
Thank
guest
you.
today. It's been fantastic. And
Wonderful.
you're very welcome. That's it for the Don Jarvis Show today. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you do, like, share, subscribe wherever you watch or listen. And I'd really love to hear your comments about what you've heard. And I hope to see you soon. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.